What is an angel? Mentioned throughout the Torah, Tanakh, Talmud, the existence of angels is both universally accepted and yet vaguely understood. There are many questions when it comes to what these beings really are. Lurking somewhere between heaven and earth, the nature of angels has stirred a fair bit of controversy. Are they independent beings, or are they manifestations of God? Do they have a physical image, or perhaps they just exist in the mind of the one who sees them? Can they choose their actions? Do they have bechira, free will? Perhaps angels can even sin. Are they jealous of human beings? Is it ever acceptable to pray to angels? These questions and so many more are thrashed out in the debates in all of halachic literature, matters of hashkafa, and the truth is, two camps can be seen to emerge: rationalists on the one hand, mystics on the other. The very word for angel is itself ambiguous. Malach is a word which literally means messenger, and that is what is bearing out part of the confusion. We see this at the beginning of chapter Lamed Bet, Parashat Vayishlach, where the Torah tells us, Vayishlach Yaakov malachim lefanav el Esav achiv. Yaakov sends out malachim to Esav, his brother. So who or what are these malachim? The Hizkuni takes the approach that they are ordinary human beings. They're flesh and blood. They are people like you and me. However, Rashi takes a different approach, and in just two words opens up a real debate. Rashi says, malachim mamash. These are real angels. The commentaries are unsure. Do we follow Hizkuni? Do we follow Rashi? Are they celestial beings, or are they flesh and blood? And I would argue that this ambiguity is actually no coincidence. The Torah intentionally chooses to leave this concept vague. And I would like to argue it's because it teaches us an important lesson. The Torah wants us to shift our gaze. Instead of looking up to the sky and the heavens to see winged creatures above, rather, the Torah is instructing us to open our eyes to everyday angels down below. In order to find these everyday angels, we must appreciate that Kodesh Baruch Hu, God, winks at man from time to time. The Talmud says, Harbe shluchim lamakom, God has many messengers, and sometimes the message is actually for us. And perhaps there are even times when a rationalist like myself can feel the presence of angels. There was one occasion when I was taking my kids to the cinema, and afterwards, as is typically the custom in these movie theaters, they have lots of arcade machines in the lobby where they want you to spend even more of your money. I gave my kids some coins and they were playing on the machines. And as we passed by the exit, as we were leaving, some of the kids still had change in their hands. We passed by a panhandler, an individual who was down on his luck and asking for coins. And of course, one of my kids, in a very loud child-type outdoor voice, Abba, pulling on my sleeve, look, there's a man, he wants money. And if that wasn't mortifying enough, the sense of just trying to, okay, let's go to the car. But my son was having nothing doing. He was pulling, no, we have to give him money. And he took all of his money that was in his pocket and he ran over to the man and he gave him everything that he had. It was a few coins, but to my child, it was all of his possessions that he was holding. Amazingly, it was a small gesture, but the man clearly needed it more than my son did. As we were walking away, the man shouts out, "Hey, kid, I don't know who you are, but you're a real angel." And that stayed with me. There are, in everyday life, everyday angels. They're on a divine mission to make us stronger, to encourage us, sometimes even to wrestle with us. And if we open our eyes in this everyday life, we can see an everyday angel.